At the end of God of War, Kratos and Atreus hand Mimir over to the Huldra brothers, Brok and Sindri, before their trip to Jotunheim. Upon returning, Mimir tells the father and son that the dwarves,
they took an uncomfortable number of measurements and then proceeded to bicker about the weather.
The weather talk is obviously regarding Fimbulwinter, but what could be gathered from Mimir mentioning measurements? What could a decomposing reanimated head be measured for? I think that it is safe to say that the dwarves are going to be fashioning Mimir a new body of sorts. The measurements could be pertaining to how Mimir's neck stump can fit into a sort of mount. The body itself will be easy to craft when you consider that it will be created by the most talented members of a race renowned for its skill in smithing and crafting. It's pretty unlikely that something of an automaton sort of nature can be created, as technology doesn't really seem advanced when you think about the game's time period. Well, in Greece, I do suppose that the idea of giving inanimate objects the ability to freely move existed, as Zeus managed to somehow transfer some of Kratos' godly power into the Colossus of Rhodes. How this could carry over into Scandinavia, I have no idea. But there are 9 realms in the Norse world, and what race is able to freely walk between realms whenever they like? Judging by how Brok and Sindri are able to appear wherever they please, despite the realm that they are in, obtaining a means to possibly create what is pretty much a functional prosthetic body is also an easy thing to do. Specifically, I believe that one of the brothers, or perhaps both of them, will make a trip to Vanaheim in order to have some type of spell attached to Mimir's new body. From what we've seen, Vanir magic is especially powerful and has accomplished things such as reanimating the dead, no matter how long they were deceased or if they were just simply a severed head. And let's not forget to mention the most significant of Vanir magic, invulnerability to all threats, physical or magical. While Sindri is already familiar with Vanir magic and how some of it works, I feel that a spell powerful enough to be used to create a new body for Mimir is something too special for someone who isn't one of the Vanir gods to know. There isn't a whole lot for us to go on here. There isn't even any evidence in the form of Norse myths that I can find that involve prosthetic bodies and such, meaning that this entire concept will be something completely original. All we know is that Brok and Sindri took some measurements on Mimir and that they're obviously up to something. But sadly there is no further elaboration upon this, and we are only left with speculation. Mimir was a big part of God of War, acting as a source of pastime entertainment and an extra set of eyes for Kratos during battle. Since Mimir is just a reanimated head, he's still technically very dead and prone to decomposition. If a spell or whatever way to prevent this can't be found for story purposes, I don't believe that the developers of the next game would want us to be carrying a rotten head around. So a new body along with some seriously powerful Vanir magic to somehow connect Mimir's head to it in order to function or whatever, while also preventing decomposition, sounds like the ideal way for things to go for Mimir in the next game. Or maybe I'm completely wrong and the dwarves are simply fashioning Mimir a more comfortable way to be carried around that doesn't involve ropes tied around his horns. I feel that this possible change for Mimir was obviously left cryptic and open-ended for a reason, so that we could have another thing to expect in the next game regarding a new fan favorite character. This video was short and sweet for the simple reason being that I don't want to seem like I'm reaching too far for possibly nothing, and I certainly don't want to look like I'm just some fanboy that's essentially creating a fanfiction. What do all of you think is going to happen to Mimir? Will he have a new body, or do you have a different guess? I hope that all of you enjoyed what little content that there was here, and if so, feel free to leave a like, as they really help the channel out a lot. Thank you all so much for watching, and as always, until next time.